number. Big numbers. Big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man. Check the wrist, man. Got him hot. Ay, man, can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the big skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards. You just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Ay, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Ay, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, let them keep it score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my...
All right, Coach, they've got right around 100,000 packed in here like sardines at AT&T Stadium. And with the roof closed and the bottled waters flowing, figures to be a loud and raucous atmosphere in Arlington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1, and it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Here we go. 42 the mic. I smell fear in that offense.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Here we go, 47. 26.
On second down, Elliott takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
On third down, it's Prescott. Cooper's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. They'll run with Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all this stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the Vikings' 13-yard line.
Here go 46. Mike's 5. Mike's 5-4. Watch the backer. Watch the backer. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. They find some open field here. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They fake the handoff, now lock. This is Coleman with a grab. 4 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Locke going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 39-yard.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Check 4, check 4. Like 3, go. Go, check 2.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one, a first down pickup of 8. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Hey, Haywood.
Block now on 1st down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
That's a pick. Going the other way.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Check hot, hot, switch, switch. Check, 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 check.
They'll toss it to Coleman.
Go, 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 run.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
Ready, ready. 90 Wolf. Hey, pick your game up. Check, cross, cross. Pilot, 64, win. Get it.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back.
Let's go, let's go.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Coleman now. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Down. 10 logo.
58, come on. Watch the run.
Ready?
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Locke. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Watch the screen. Hey, Mike 51. Blue down.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick is indeed good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check.
Prescott now. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. Throw left side, complete to Moss. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Quit talking about it.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. Got an open man. It's Ratley. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Check 4, check 4. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Here we go, 47. 42's the mark, 42's the mark. 46.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Here we go. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 12-yard line.
On second down, it's Elliott. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
There you go. Go right in. Don't get nervous. Rip right, rip right. Kill, 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 kill. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54, line in. Tight down, 26.
On third down, Elliott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And Zerline's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh. Back to right. Set 61. Matchbox right. Hey, orbit. 5.
Block now on first down. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
On first down, it's Coleman. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Go. 51 to mine. 51 to mine. Man, I got you.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pull.
And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Me and you all day. All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott caught by Allen. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd down, Elliott. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Throwing on 2nd down. Locke is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
They'll run on 1st down. Benjamin. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Coleman. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Coleman. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
He's not going to get me. He's fine.
Now a give, right side. Benjamin. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. And he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 19-yard line.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and inches.
On the set.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on first down. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now to the air. Lock. And that's complete to Adams. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, Minnesota.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. This is Coleman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They come out here in the I. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
Well, so much for the worry about how they would be after losing their lead. What a big-time return to seize the momentum back.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
Here we go, here we go.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go. Check 55, Mike.
You gonna get this, boy?
Here we go, 47.
You think you gonna get this?
Mike 55, Mike 55, Mike 55.
On first down, it's Elliott. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check tight, check tight, check tight. Here we go, 46.
From the pistol, here's Elliott. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Watch the screen. Back. 26.
Here's Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 5, but they do keep him out of the end zone, and now it's 4th down. Temptation there certainly to go for this, but I think you have to kick it, right?
The temptation coming from the fantasy owners, right? I mean, there are some that are going to want to kick it because they may have that kicker, but overall, get more yardage, maybe a chance for a touchdown. But no, absolutely not. Run that field goal kicker out there. Kick it. You got to take the chance to take the lead right now. You don't want to put it back on your defense.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. Zerline's kick is up and through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
At the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Lock to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow, I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Lock to throw for it on 4th. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
6-6, bullet hot. All day. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Slap.
Coleman. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
218, jump. 5.
Back to throw. He's got Smith here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Check 13.
Check it backer.
Bravo.
They'll look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. But still need 1 completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have 1 last shot.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, it would have been a long one, but that was a spot that they put themselves in, Charles, forcing him to try from long distance, and he comes up empty.
And you know what happens oftentimes when you're trying to kick a little bit beyond your range, you overkick it, right? Don't get all of it. In this situation, they cannot point fingers at him. They've got to go back and examine their play calls, how they tried to traverse the ball down the field, and why they didn't get bigger chunks of yardage in order to set up a field goal that was much more manageable.
Yeah, because 5 to 10 yards there could have made a world of difference. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. and they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Smoke, dog.